Alright, welcome to the stream. Hope everyone's having a good one. We're back once again with Final Fantasy XIV, 7.1. Last stream we did the 24 memory. This stream we're going to do the main scenario. We're going to hope that there aren't any... Mamuja, if Baku Jaja could stay gone so I can actually keep my voice, that'd be grand. But you know what? We're not gonna hang around, we're just gonna go straight into it. If I can remember, wait, that's right, you're down by the inn room. Which is cabins. Who's meeting us? Is it Wook? Or is it going to be? I'm assuming Wook is asking for us. Hello. Yeah, it is. It is a pleasure as always. XIV, have you been able to relax lately? Wonderful, as busy as you have been with the Rider Succession, among other things, you deserve an opportunity to experience Tuliyola at a more leisurely pace. Sampling the tacos at... Oh my god, all these words that I've been thinking in my head for the past several months and now I have to try and say out loud. Again. Zbalia of Te is one such way to do so. They're made the traditional way and laden with fillings and are absolutely sublime. If you have an empty stomach, the owner, Brook Evu, will look after you. Oh my god. Brook, I know we've been seeing each other so much over the last couple of... to be fair, weeks. Kinda did all this in the past couple of weeks, but... Hello. I feel like I'm interrupting something between these two. Visitors here alone today, are you? Well, I see. If you have a hankering for tacos, then they're on the house. Consider it a token of gratitude for your help tracking down those treasures. Go ahead and find a table. I'll bring you a meal as soon as it's ready. Okay, so I'm assuming that dialogue's different if you haven't done the role quests. Is there also nothing else to eat here? This is now the second quest line I've had where the optimal food choice is tacos. Who's the gregarious man? Okay, I probably haven't met him. Still have tacos, I hope? You ate so many when you turned 5, you could barely move afterwards, remember that? Oh no, he's from Solution 9. No, not really. That was 30 years ago for me. Right. Sorry, it's still strange for me too. Just the other day, you were a little boy clinging to your mother's skirt as you set off for Yesalani, and now you're a grown man with full face full of hair. Even so, I knew you were my son the instant I saw you. We're still family, and you can always rely on me. Relying, that feels like the only thing I'm doing right now. On you and everyone else. Can't even start a fire without assistance on my new job. Back in Alexandria, we had Electro. If I needed fire, all I had to do was press a button. Everything was at our fingertips. But here, I'm helpless. A culinarian who can't even light the stove. The way the others in the kitchen stared at me. Gods, I've never felt so embarrassed. I'm sorry to hear that. I've been told the tales, but it seems life really is different within the dome. My wife and children. I was thinking I'd have them join me once things are settled, but at this rate... I say you send for them. If they're your family, then they're mine too. I'll do whatever's necessary to make it work. Meanwhile, we'll Clement. Lamichi! See, that just reminds me of the fact that there are... The 2 NPCs for the sightseeing log were twin sisters. Well, they still are twin sisters technically, but one of them is... older. Like a lot older in Solution 9, and she tells you not to tell her sister about her. Which is, whew. Didn't mean to overhear, but it seems you're having trouble readjusting to life in Tuliyola. Foul walk the mud. To aid folk like yourself, we've established a support group at the Wing of Reflection. There you can learn the skills you need to live outside the dome. It isn't easy being back, I know, but I'm hopeful they can make things easier. It's exactly what I need. I'll definitely seek this group out, and I'll bring my family with me. Thank you. Hi. Look who it is. I was just about to go and find you. Don't mind the company, I hope. I could use a bite to eat myself. Sure, we'll get your own. I know how much you eat. Also, shout out to her for getting new voice lines for the final trial, which was my biggest gripe when I played through the expansion. There's dip left. What do you mean you've left dip? Eat that. The tacos here never disappoint. Don't let Auntie hear you say that. So, what have you been up to lately? I've been sleeping. I have not been with the alpaca. Oh, these are... Okay, so these are obviously your two default choices, right? And this is if you've been doing the... if you've done the Gatherer quest, Gatherer Crafter ones. And this is obviously the role quests, and then that's if you've actually done the 8-man raid, which is really interesting. Let's go for that one. We had a whole existential crisis between 3 Malviera. Wook, Lamat, it was wild. Heard stories about someone helping other businesses. Seeing how well they're faring now, you've clearly done a fine job. As for myself, I've been kept busy with duties at the palace. But whenever I find a moment, I like to walk the streets and talk to the people. That way I can better understand the problems they have, and share them with Koana to figure out solutions. I was on one such walk just now, and as I mentioned, I was hoping to find you. Koana and I have something we want to discuss with you as Dawn Servants. Do you have time to come to the palace? Great. I'll go on ahead. Please, come and join us once you're finished here. I mean, I'm basically finished. I only had 2 dips left to finish, and I don't think my character was going to finish them. Oh, now Wandering Minstrel. I don't have time for experts that I'm just gonna unlock and never run. Whee! And I need to go... It's only just occurred to me, like, how well lit this place is, with only a couple of skylights and the fires really on top. We float. I suppose there's one thing that I haven't actually looked at. Come here. Okay, we don't look too different. They did another graphics update to the point where they were like, we're giving you another free Fantasia just in case, and I don't think EXE's changed too much. Hello. Seems Koana's gone somewhere. Oh no, there's a mojo. Master Ix here is always an honor. Val Koana has stepped away to attend to a pressing matter, but he should join you within before long. Koana. How long were you guys waiting here? There was no guarantee that I was even going to be in town. Oh, it's my children, my boyfriend, and my boyfriend's girlfriend. Oh, you're here too? Valquana summoned us, though if truth be told, Alphino and I have been seeing him quite regularly of late. He asked us to share our knowledge of Hannish culture, you see, in hopes of further strengthening your alliance. We were, of course, happy to oblige him. Okay, why are you two here? Girl and I were likewise summoned. Otherwise, we've been carrying on with our work, compiling information on the Golden City. My grandfather embarked on his investigation 20 years ago. With our report, we shall finish what he started. I'm proud of you two. Good for you, Kryl. Lest you wonder, Thancred and Oringer have left to resume their tour of Toral. Y'shtola, meanwhile, is back to researching cross-rift travel. She was here just a few days ago to get Koana's permission to investigate living memory. By the way, she mentioned wanting to take a look at the key in your keeping at some point. If the look she had in her eyes was any indication, I suggest you brace yourself for when she comes calling. You'll like to be stuck with her for a while. Can she just not take the key and then give it back later? As for Estinian, we know neither where he is or what he's doing. Some things never change. Hello, Koana. My apologies for the delay. Think nothing of it. We took advantage of the time to catch up. So, what can we do for you? Hopefully present company is enough for whatever it is you need. Oh, the glasses push. The matter for which I've summoned you permits to Alexandria. A state funeral will soon be held in Solution 9 to mourn the passing of Queen Sin. King Goloja and his administration have invited us to attend. While certain issues remain unresolved between our nations, such as the treatment of Ysalani, I see no reason not to attend. For generations, the Alexandrians lived without even the awareness of death. I wouldn't have expected them to have funeral rites still. Apparently, the members of Oblivion unearthed records of ceremonies that were conducted in Alexandria Vault. It was they who put forth the proposal that the Queen be thus honored. Leave it to that lot to think of such things. The people of Alexandria no longer forget the departed. They're being confronted with the idea of death for the first time. I suspect our friends wanted to do something for them. Though Sphene was but a simulacrum, she was nonetheless a pillar for her people. The pain of her passing must run deep. Don't look sad, I hated her from day one. Indeed, a funeral would give Alexandrians the chance to come together to express their grief, that they might overcome it. I wasn't sure at first, but I've decided to go. Not only to be there for Goloja, but to put this chapter behind us. That I requested your presence was none other than to see if you wish to attend the funeral. You knew Sphene as well, after all. That would be inappropriate. I should not go. How much of an asshole would that be? I didn't like Sphene. I have no valid reason to really not like Sphene other than I just didn't gel with the vibe, but Otto for Golosha and Lamichi. Oh, absolutely not. Because you consider yourself responsible for her demise, I take it. That's not a burden you bear alone. I feel nothing in relation to that. Do you know how many technically once innocent beings turned rampaging godlike being I've had to put down? I mean, we can start with, like... Who would be the most notable one? Nidhogg was just mourning a sister, and after 1,000 years it turned him into a rampaging beast. There's one. Here's my idea. As Vow, I'll attend the funeral as a representative of Tuliola. Meanwhile, you can go in a personal capacity and watch over the people as they mourn. I feel the rest of us should go too. Regardless of the reason, the fact remains that we deprived Alexandria of their beloved rule. See, that's a valid reason for going. We did kind of leave them queenless. It's only right that we remember who Sveen was to her people and to others, so let us stand with you. I don't even know who Sveen was at the end of the day. She turned up in like the final quarter, if that final eighth. Spent even less time, attempted to murder me a couple of times. Like, I feel like... I know why they couldn't introduce Sveen earlier, because they couldn't have Solution 9 any earlier. But she was there for so short a time and there was so much else going on that I feel nothing for going to her funeral. Like, I don't feel responsible for her death. I wasn't connected enough to her to particularly care. As opposed to, say... Who could we think of? I was gonna say Thordan. Thordan I felt angry about. And then concerned about for Ishgard because, oh, we took out the Pope and really shattered the whole world building, whereas the 8-man raid show that Alexandria is kind of functioning as normal. And if anything, Sveen just seemed to be more of a visual head of state than actually doing anything necessarily. I don't know. Maybe my lack of interest during Sveen while the main scenario was going on has just led me to overlook things, and it's been a couple of months since I played Base of the Expansion. Oh well. And then it's decided. Let us head to Solution 9 and look for Golja in the back room. Like, I feel something for Baku Zhao, if only because he is a tiny child. And once again, less for the Sveen aspect, and more because we'd interacted with his dad through basically the whole thing. Crossroads. It also didn't help that Sveen just came across as really potentially evil and backstabby from step 1. Though I would ideally attend the funeral, given the circumstances, I think it is best for Lamichi represents us. Besides, I need to be on hand to oversee the city's repairs, which is taking longer than expected. When the work is complete, we'll finally look into installing thrones. But to have my father's throne is still... It makes me feel he's close by. Quite happy for it to remain for a while. Could you not... Okay, before I have to go to Solution 9 for depressing stuff, could you not? You and Lamichi are small. Could you not just leave his one here? And then just one here? One here? Like, I feel like this is a big enough platform for you two to have seats on here, and then you can all be together. Just saying. Alright, solution 9. Do you know what I think also probably hasn't helped my collection to Solution 9 or anything going on with it? Like, I haven't done side quests in any of the areas, but I've been in Tuliolal doing the Crafter Gatherer quests, the role quests. So I've got more development from like how Tuliolal has been handling things, how it's set up. The most I've done here since like ending the story was coming here to do tomes and briefly for the Arcadion. And I'm slightly more interested in the Arcadion, if only for the interesting thing of how souls work with their sort of headpieces, as opposed to anything to do with Sven. I don't know. Here's to hoping that maybe we get some sort of backstory or something about the real Sven to actually make me care that she's getting a funeral instead of it just being, I have had to attend because I am responsible for removing your queen. And I'm here to express my condolences on the matter. Also, a tiny child said, can you come? And I kind of went, I suppose so. Tazos, let me in. I am heading to the back room. Let me in. Hello, Kalusha. You came for the funeral. Weirdly upbeat. Of course. I'm the one who'll officially take part, though. The others will watch over the proceedings. So, how have you been? It's been a while since my last visit. I'm good. Shell's always teaching me new things. Recently, I've learnt about Everkeep systems and the mechanical soldiers. It's knowledge I'll need to use my authority properly. Studious as always, I see. By way of a treat, I bought you some gâteau au chocolat. It's a kind of cake. I think you'll like it. Thank you, Lamichi, and thank you for coming. I've never been to a funeral before, so it feels less nervous having you. I would be shocked if you had, you know, an actual world state where death isn't really a thing, because no one remembers, no one acknowledges. Out of curiosity, what's the custom in Alexandria? In our world, it's common to offer flowers to the departed. It's much the same here, according to the records. Flowers will be distributed to all attendees. Considering that all the worlds used to be one, the practice of offering flowers may well share the same ancient origin. Fascinating, wouldn't you say? I guess? Oh, the quest. Oh, Galushaja is in my codex, so is Toral. Alright, what do we have to say, guys? Papa always said he didn't want a somber funeral, so we celebrated his life, together with our victory. I'm sure he would have loved it. I like to think he was watching us from the world beyond, filling his cup every time we filled our own. Although I've been in the back room before, there was no time to see the sights. I'd like a closer look at the equipment. Of course you would. It's a relief to see Galuja doing well. He's been through too much for one so young. From a group that plotted to undermine a tyrant king from the shadows to one that aids their fellow citizens in the open, living has come a long way. For the people to take it on themselves to organize and hold the funeral, it speaks of their undying love for Sven. While we proposed the funeral, the royal administration took the brunt of the planning. One of their number can better explain what the ceremony will entail. The flowers are being handed out at Praxis Park. I'm thinking of heading over there now. We'll join you. There's a man I would like to speak with. Gosan? He was apparently Sven's aide, and the one who sent us the invitation. Come on, let's go. Isn't Gossam the random guy in the 8-man? God, I'm... that way. Up this way, around the other way. Do you know what I think I found my dislike for being here? It's one of those zones where it feels so big and empty and you have to walk everywhere. Like, this could be an actual zone. Which is such a really nitpicky thing to be like, it's too big, I don't want to walk there, but this area is too big, I don't want to walk. No, different guy. Yeah, bro. I'm also heading the entirely wrong way. That's okay. Yeah, bro was the guy. Once again, goes to show how long it's been since I've played the last patch. I see them. I see them all. Alright, Elfino, thoughts on the matter? Wuklamat's attendance will surely help strengthen relations between the two nations. I get the strong impression that both Tuliyola and Alexandria wish to put this tragic past behind them. Or, now hear me out with how our luck normally goes, it's going to make matters worse. Because some small group is going to be like, how dare you come back here and disrupt this funeral when you were the ones who killed her? It makes sense that Sven had loyal aides such as Gosan, given how much she dedicated to walking among her people. While it appears souls are still being issued, supply must be limited now that they're no longer being harvested. Grim faces in the queue tell the tale. Judging from all the activity, I presume the funeral will be held here. All correspondence was being handled by the Winger of Reflection, so this is my first time speaking with Gosan. Here he is. Gosan. The man, the myth, the legend. Oh, you look old. Why? I am Val Wuklamat of Tuliyola. Thank you for extending us an invitation to Queen Sven's funeral. We are honored, truly. I'd seen you before from a distance, but never had the pleasure. I'm Gosan, former chief aide to the Queen. Since her passing, I've been responsible for administering affairs of state. Can we get our flowers here? Yes, Your Majesty. The flowers are being handed out at the counter yonder, alongside the regulators. What? We need to wear regulators for the funeral? Rest assured, they're not a requirement. We're aware your people do not use them. You see, people in Alexandria of old wore tokens of mourning upon their persons when attending funerals. As such, tokens were black. It was suggested that we might wear regulators painted the same color. We've yet to produce enough for everyone, but we're distributing them as we are able. I see. Yet, regulator or no, the important thing is that we remember Queen Sven. Remember her and her kindness as you make an offering of your flower. I will. The proceedings will soon begin in the plaza. Please, take your place once you have your flower. Ooh. Right, where are all these people milling about just normally? They would fill it so well. The city wouldn't be lifeless. Meanwhile, off to the side, looking awkward. Hidden in a tiny cubbyhole. Jesus Christ.
Although we are gathered here for the same reason, we hail from different lands. Some were born and raised in the Alexandria of old, while others came to us from Tuliolal. It was from this union of diverse peoples that a new Alexandria was born. The only home that our younger generation knows. How did we overcome the barriers between us? What moved us to join hands in common purpose beneath crackling skies? You know the answer. We survived. We thrived because Queen Sphene brought us together.
Pause. Did no one give this buddy a mic? Oh yes, the cult like. Oh yes, and when she was fighting us.
Inspired and encouraged by her boundless kindness, we strove to be better, for ourselves as well as those around us. And in Her Majesty's absence, there is a sadness beyond words. Yet we will remember her. Remember all the good that she has done for us. So let us pray, as the people of the Old Kingdom once did, for the peaceful repose of the departed. And let us keep our beloved Queen forever in our hearts, that her memory might guide us unto the morrow. Would that I could find solace in my own words.
Did we ever pick up her regulator? Or did we leave it? I can't remember who currently has her fancy regulator. I think it was just left in the void.
Was Queen Sphene taken to the cloud?
She must have been. To still remember her is strange, isn't it, darling?
I miss her. She would always cheer me up when I was down. But even though I remember her, I'll never see her again. That doesn't make sense.
It seems that's what it means to die, I'm afraid.
But what will happen to us? Are we just going to be sad forever?
What will happen indeed? Everything that we have, we owe to Queen Sphene. How are we to go on without her?
I still remember Her Majesty so clearly. If only I didn't, I might feel better about the future of our realm.
Oh no, that's slippery slope thinking.
Perhaps we should also consider moving to Tuliolo. The journey won't be easy, but it'd be better than staying here in uncertainty.
In times like these, I take comfort in the beliefs of a Turali people called the Yorkui. To them, death isn't the end. So long as we're remembered, we never truly die. It could be the same for Queen Sphene, you know? If you keep her alive in your hearts, she'll always be with you.
But we still won't be able to see her, right? I don't want to think about that. I wish I could just forget instead of having to feel like this.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to impose. Please, mourn your queen however you see fit. As expected, they struggle to come to terms with their loss. I hope they can find a way to move forward.
It's not only grief that weighs on them, but worry for the future. Bereft of their queen, how will they proceed?
True. But with that at least, we're not powerless to help. What is it, Guloja?
I was wondering, is it better to remember or forget someone when they're dead? I remember my father, and every time I think of him, it hurts. It's the same with Queen Sphene. Knowing that she's gone makes me feel sad. But it's different with my mother. I never knew her, so I don't feel as bad.
Okay. Counter argument. If you don't remember them at all, you don't remember the happy times either. Which, okay, isn't really applicable to your father, because your father was kind of a nutter by the time he came to Alexandria, but Sphene, I may not have liked her, but she had a lot of good memories with you as a people. To forget every single aspect of that, to forget everything she's done, would be so much worse than dealing with the pain.
I want to remember my father, but maybe I'd be better off forgetting him.
Guloja.
Why don't we continue this somewhere else?
I was very concerned for a minute that that thing was suddenly about to go beep 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 red. Often no thoughts. Hope the altar can provide comfort to those who need it. Seeing that child reminded me of myself, of how hard it was for me to accept that grandfather was gone. But that sadness is what gave me the strength to come this far, and I would never choose to forget it. Seems like a good place to continue our conversation. Ah, we've gone from... Okay, to be fair, we have left the funeral, but we are still talking about this just on a random street. Simply leaving Alexandria won't solve all their problems, I fear. The problem runs deeper than that. I mean, you're valid to bring it up. We're allowed to question things. We just might not have an answer for you. Hey, Goloja, do you really know nothing at all about your mother? She'll search the system for information on residents, but the only Mamoja she found listed was my father and me. Even if she died and was raised from people's memories, she should have been there, but she wasn't. Well, that means that you're here means she was here too. Inside the dome. There can't be any other way about it. I think so. Even if it makes me feel sad, I want to know her. So I want to try looking again. And if I don't find anything this time, I'll give up. I see. Well, if that's what you want. Then I'll help you. I'd like to help as well, and I believe I speak for the others too. But I can't bother you with this. You already came for the funeral. We came here not only for the funeral, but to see whether all was well in Alexandria. We're not about to leave just yet. Besides, in seeking to learn about your mother, we're bound to learn about your father as well. By retracing the steps of this man who kept his own counsel, we may gain knowledge that can serve the people of Alexandria. Alright, thank you everyone. Myself and the twins are apparently just here for the ride. Alright, Raha. Thoughts. Into the dungeon. Here's the thought. Assuming neither memories nor records of Goloja's mother remain, we must cast as wide a net as possible. I suggest we split into groups. Ixia, if you can make inquiries outside in the outskirts, the rest of us will do the same in Solution Night. Ixia, leave the city. The rest of us will vibe here. Kicked out of town by my own boyfriend. Disappointing, Graha. Alright. I'm looking for 3 people. Tink, 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 tink. I mean, I don't know if the outskirts is the way. Surely we should be asking the people on the other side who don't wear regulators, because they'd be more likely to know than anyone else who is wearing one. I'm looking for a Mamoja woman? Oh, Goluja's mother. Can't help you there, I'm afraid. I only know about Sorosha, and then only what my father told me. He said those before the dome cut us off from the outside world. A troll Vidral had appeared and was terrorizing the region. In response, Sorosha assembled a party of warriors, and with them confronted and felled the beast. It's interesting to hear of the king's feat in the past. Okay. Did he actually fight a troll Vid... I hope I managed to get coke on my controller. Did he actually fight a troll Vidral? Shatona? Momujal woman? The people have never been a common sight around here. Why, the last time I saw one would have been before the dome came down over our heads. And she was among the entourage of the Landsguard that was dispatched here. I assume they all returned to Tuliolal after the mission. But if any remained, I suppose they could have been trapped in here with the rest of us. Oh, hello. Sorry, but I've never heard of a Mawajah woman living in these parts, much less one connected to Zoralja. You might have better luck talking to people over at Tan settlement in the north of Everkeep, in a place called Yue Oyuwata. The resilient son won their loyalty when he saved them from some crisis or another, or so the story goes. If I remember correctly, their chief's name was Kaniloka. Oh, nope. Don't need to get on that. I just need to go back and be like, hey. Yes, I would like to go to the back room, please. Lumichi didn't seem to have much luck. How did you fare? While I failed to learn anything directly related to Galuja's mother, I did find information that which may shed some light upon Zoroja. Lucian 9 is vast indeed. Even with the teleporters, we can cover but a small portion of it. I'm sorry, but I couldn't find anything useful. None of the people I questioned had ever heard of a Mamajah woman before. Zoroja rarely made public appearances, so the people had no idea how he spent most of his time. Yet I believe therein lies the key to the answers we seek. You're back too. Well, Jairus told me all. We previously tried to track down records of his mother, but came up empty-handed. With everyone's help, hopefully we could get somewhere this time. So you spoke with quite a few different people as well. Let's combine all our findings and see what conclusions we might draw. So, Zoroja brought a retinue of Landsguard to Ysolani, among whom was a female Mamujah. His mission was to rid the region of a Troll Vitrol, and I believe it's safe to say that that was the crisis in Yoeyueta he resolved. If some of his troops stuck around for a time, perhaps to assist the villagers with recovery efforts, then they could have indeed gotten it trapped inside the dome. We've also heard stories about the settlements in Yoeyueta. People lived there until nearly a decade ago, and Zoroja made regular visits. If he required secrecy, a location home to his most loyal followers would be ideal. And if this Mamajah woman had remained there, they would have had an occasion to come in contact. I see, but what could Zoroja have been doing in that village? I think we can answer that question. In order to retrace Zoroja's steps, Raha and I spoke with a researcher who worked at Origenics. He said that approximately 20 years ago, a number of his colleagues were transferred to a research facility outside Everkeep, per the King's direct order. This is the first I've heard of such a facility. Only Vanguard was believed to have been under the King's jurisdiction. It was apparently being used to develop a new kind of weapon, but I'm afraid that was all we could learn. It's plenty to go on. Even if the work there was classified, any materials and equipment needed would have been manufactured within Everkeep. So if we look into transportation records... There it is. The routes are full of detours and attempts at obfuscation, hiding. Large deliveries were being made to Yoewata, far too large for a mere village. Obfuscate. Obfuscation. Hasn't been any activity for years, though. It's like the facility has been decommissioned. Do you think that's where my mother was? We can't say for certain just yet, but I reckon there's a good chance. This is amazing. Even though no one remembers her, you managed to figure all this out. Each piece of the puzzle may reveal little on its own, but when we put several together, a picture begins to form. Even should memories fade, footprints remain to mark the path of those who walked before. Lesson I learned in another life. So, we'll be investigating the secret facility in Yoewata then. And this time, I want you to come along, Gulusha. Yoewata is on the other side of the lake. To get there, you'll need to take a hover cargo from the drift downs. Alright, thank you, Shale. Bum bum bum. Okay. Actually, quicker for me to just go outskirts and then fly over. Ding ding, bong bong ding. Whee! Hello. Weapons developed in secret with the aid of voter followers. Nothing good will have come from this. The settlement in the outskirts that was originally Tonawawatan, as... No, I was reading that as well, yes? I wonder if it's similar to that. Well, the researcher we spoke with remembered that he had colleagues. He couldn't recall details about any specific individuals, not their names, nor what they were like. Someone would have noticed as Oroja traveled from the drift downs. I expect he utilized a flying vehicle. We've seen how much has changed for the part of Yaslani that's on this side of the dome. I wonder what it's like on the other. So the hover cargo will take us across the lake? I've never been over there before. It's still inside the dome, so I don't expect it to be too different from here. We'll likely encounter dangerous beasts, so the rest of us will go first. You follow when it's safe to do so, right? Alright, be careful everyone! Oh, the big decision of who I want to take with me. If you have set up. I can use Raha.
I stand ever ready.
Much as I love the twins, you cannot separate them. And I kind of... Kral needs some love. Let's go. I suppose it could have gone DPS taking Raha and the twins. Oh well. Oh, it's an X-Peak. Dog snoring. Oh, we're gonna have the little sleepy dog wolves. Okay. Alright. My father must have come here for a reason. And he hasn't let up here either. Now the downside is I've been an idiot and taken 2 casters. Interesting for a region that's, I guess the crystals are redirecting a lot of the electricity. Because you would have expected more of the plant life to be dead. I mean, there's still trees that look okay with greenery on them. So this will obviously be the first ball, and then afterwards this will.
I'll show you.
Okay, you show them, walk the man. You do it, Limichu. I mean, even this tree that's down seems more like it's come down because it's cold as opposed to like struck by lightning. Ow. Move your hand, hit the entire metal frame holding up the microphone. Ow. We need to take out this bat. I'm sick of seeing this bat, right? Ooh, a nice destroyed. Let's go strike anywhere. Step lightly. I swear, any other game, this whole stretch here would be literally AoEs going off. Or standby, I feel like if this were also any other Final Fantasy game, that would happen. Creators. Couple wall back. There's got to be 2 more wall back and then the boss fight. Excuse you. Very rude.
Back off.
I mean, they'll back off if they're dead. You just have to kill them faster. Okay. Would I be better served giving that card to Lamichi?
If I may?
Probably. Am I going to change that? No. Okay. Oh no, it's around the corner. I can't see what it is. Curse you! Kind of interesting that over there is just a massive well of electricity. Also, I don't think I certainly haven't talked about it. Shout out to the Warbag for being a creature that was in the ancient world that we personally retconned into a behemoth, and it still came back anyway. Lind Bloom Zagnol? Guess we stepped into his territory. Sure did. Okay. Oh, no. Benefit. Why does every fight now start with the first attack AoE? Go. Okay. You just go. Alright, I thought you were actually gonna toss it backwards, but that works too. Oh, it's going over there. Ah! Okay. Every card to limit you. Ow! Oh, we've just got to attack it? Okay. Ow! That ain't great. Oh god, Cryo. Get it off first. Now we repeat, now we repeat. An actual heal check, along with a DPS check in a dungeon. Even if it's just for like the first 2 weeks. What a novel concept. Okay, the ideal scenario there would be getting close enough to pop bubble before everyone spreads again. That's the AoE. Yep. Why do you think that? It's about to get painful. Raha. Okay. Kappa scouting, what is this? Can this even be worn on a Viera? No. We love that. What eye level is it? 705, so... facility is still here. What kind of research did they do here? A facility with a secret purpose. Hardly any signs there was a village over here. Okay, so the 705 is better than uncapped tomestones. But not better than anything you get out of the 8-man raid. Research note. While His Majesty Zoroljar is not the first to conceive of transferring a beast's soul into a person's body, safety and ethical concerns have ensured no earnest attempts have been made to date. Yet our king believes that there is no greater evil than to hinder the potential of man, and so he has ordered us to make this conception a reality. He would bolster our military might and break through into the outside world. If our research will further this ambition, then perhaps it is worth pursuing. Oh my god. What a pair of cats. Hi? Oh. I'm sorry, buddies. Let me get a good look at you guys. After I've popped a whole bunch of, like, everything. I mean, I know they're just a standard mod. I can't see. My star is too bright. Ah. Look, my dear, I need you to, like, stop, like, half a second. Do they not have eyeballs? They do not. I swear if one of these bosses has one giant arm, not another.
If I may?
On the heels of critically acclaimed 2002 Piglet game that has vibes of Silent Hill. Welcome to the Resident Evil portion of Final Fantasy XIV. Our bodies are fragile vessels. Although the infusion of another person's soul confers strength and vitality, the soul of a beast yields mixed results. Even when stripped of memories, a feral soul can induce psychological instability in the subject. I suspect this is because primal instincts remain. And while a certain amount of bestial ferocity is expected, and I dare say welcomed, too many such souls can lead to physical mutations. For now, our objective shall be to determine the threshold beyond which a body is at risk of the uncontrolled mutation. This seems to lean into the 8-man raid, where the whole deal for that, at least with the first 4, is they're all using essentially beast souls, which does mutate them for a time, and we find that it's actually erodes at the human soul to the point where they start dying. Braha, you're poly it. Braha, please, I'm trying to look. Oh, ooh. And these are people, right? Couple of here. Are they all here? They're all here. Oh! Ah! Ah! I was too busy looking at the people there. Hey, researchers, do you have eyeballs?
If I may?
I mean, no, you don't. It's not the first time we've seen zombies in this game. Shout out to the Mandible Quests for giving us a friendly zombie man. I like her. How you doing back here, buddy? You doing okay? How do you feel about seeing the horrors that your father subjected general people and animals to? Why did they go? Why do they sound like dogs? Oh no, they're all female. At least these ones are. Excuse me, beep? What happened here? I suppose the moral question I have is if we have the chance to turn a switch off, can we... Do we kill switch all of these guys? Like... Yes. Let me see. Like, I don't know if you can come back from being tube. Cell doors. I mean, something got out. I would say it's been a while since I've seen this many bodies, but we did see a whole bunch after El Amigo. Like the ones that are being experimented on there. I mean, something was clearly going down for them to be just in the corridor. Giant corpse? I think at that point you can just call it giant corpse. We'll let you have a pass. You can have that one. You can have it for free. I mean, was that something that they turned the person into? Was that they found a Yokyu?
If I may?
You may. Go ahead. Once again, I'm far more interested in the horrors of Zorulja than I am in anything Sveen had to say or do. Okay. Oh, there's another one down there. Hi! The rate of transfiguration may be dictated by the potency of the soul consumed. We've experimented with fiends of great power, but mutations were observed after the infusion of merely a single soul. No better was this phenomenon illustrated than with poor Atticus. His body was altered irreparably and lost all capacity for rational thought. While the primary objective of this research was to utilize the soul of a Tral Vidral, I struggled to see a path forward. An alternative approach must be considered. Atticus. Which? Is there another character named Atticus, or am I right in thinking that we fought Atticus? And if so, which one was Atticus? Atticus is an S rank. Atticus is the snake one, which I believe that people, some PC players were having problems fighting because his tails are text bubbles above his head. I believe that's fixed now, but I believe there was a problem with fighting Atticus because PC players had problems with the text bubbles above his head. Oh, can we go in? We can! Interesting. I'll go in that one. I mean, I assume these are all pretty much the same, right? Oh! Oh good, we found the legless ones now. Ah! That's just literally just a giant body, and then we've just got interesting though. So these guys are clearly, I mean, they're zombie-esque anyway, but they're all of them have regulators, though none of them seem to be on. Which seems... I guess whatever got out and started rampaging and killed everyone just cornered these guys somewhere until they ran out of souls to keep them going. Interesting. Another note. Very interesting. Another research note. If the source of our failures thus far has been the inability of our bodies to contain feral souls, what if we were to reverse the process? By purging a beast of its memories and infusing it with a man's soul, one still possessed of its own memories. We stand to gain absolute control over a vessel of great power. My subordinate, who first proposed this brilliant hypothesis, shall have the honor of being the first to transcend our meager limits. I must prepare his soul for extraction upwards. We're getting very Resident Evil. I have a bad feeling about this. Well, there's the Overseer we heard about, who's apparently done something to himself. There's something unsettling about the Aether, though. What happened to them? Modified himself, 'twould seem. You surrender your souls to King Solusha. I know which model he is as well. He's, that's the same model as the guy in the Mark raids has. Oh, okay, they just go quick. I wasn't sure if I'd had to remember them, but no, buddies just go quick. Oh good, the hands of the damned. Don't do it. I just... Okay. I can't say I'm surprised. Okay, try it again. Discard the flesh, extract the soul. Alright, pick two. Alright, free spirits, let's do this properly this time. Shit goes out fast. Right. Souls of the Damned, here we are.
should do it!
Live. Heavily bleeding, but I lived. Oh god. Didn't mean to use that on myself, but I did. Oh, fuck it. Everyone's gonna have to fend for themselves for a hot minute.
I won't give up.
I'm glad you won't. What do you mean, Dark Souls? Excuse me. You can have that. Give it to Raha. Then give it to Raha. Decided not to give it to Raha, give it to Carl instead. This is gonna be the fun one in roulette. I'm calling it now. No one's going to want this dungeon specifically for this fight. Raha's about to die. Raha, I'm sorry. Okay. What do we contain the beast, but the seal is already... Seal? The beast? What's he... His assistant. The last boss is going to be his assistant. The thing that's probably been rampaging through here and murdering everyone is going to have been his assistant. Uncanny look corpse. Is that a storm? By the gods, what is that? It's where we need to go! Sprightly stone. Is that stone literally one of the big Spriggans and they've just taken the Spriggan away? Absolutely no Spriggans, no joy in this world.
If I may?
You may. Go ahead. Okay. A fighter boss is clearly going to be the assistant who was a beast with a man's mind. So I guess we're wondering what potentially with the Thrall Vidral. And that seemed to be the end goal. Sprightly Lone Keep. Sprightly. Okay. There's another 2 rocks and then 2 golems. Raha. I just had a horrifying thought. What if the assistant is Gulul's mother? And the reason why no one has any records of her is because she was mutated into some horrible beast that they kept safely contained. Maybe we shouldn't have brought the child along. I have this horrible feeling that we're about to find his mother at the end of this dungeon. Something's wrong. Don't rush ahead. Was that a roar? Did it come from inside the storm? Is it bad when the nicer, more optimistic conclusion would be that his mother was killed during a freak experiment, as opposed to the idea that she's been here this entire time as some soul trapped in a beast's body? Although, I'm sorry, buddy, but we're hoping your mother isn't horribly mutated. And just instead, long gone. Alright. I didn't want that at all, but we'll rock with it. Okay. Boss fight is there, though. Excuse me, Carl. I thought for a moment that said slightly clay golem and I was very confused. Sprite. They're so happy to be here. After mauling probably several scientists.
If I may?
I mean... The question is, presumably this beast, whatever it is, can't fly. Because if it is, why is it still here instead of leaving? I suppose it's trapped in the storm? Nope. Free now. Ooh. Oh, I'm here for that. Oh no, it's got like cording as though they're braids. But then if it's braids, it can't be Gulul Jar's mother, surely. It can't be a Mamu Jar inside a bunny. The troll, no doubt about it. Right, we'll see you in a bit. It seems like a teeny tiny arena. Hello. Okay, nothing interesting. Alright. 3, 2, 1, let's go. European loaf. It's giving Monty Python. Oh, okay. Oof. You want to be... Okay, and then they're splitting up. Okay. I remember those. That's from Ruby Workman. Well, buddy. You bitch. I can't even see the bottom. That... Oh god. What do you mean Sonic Hell? Oh. Oh dear. That also doesn't do particularly well for my earthly star. I do wonder if you were Scholar, if you could leave the fairy in the middle and still have the fairy stay there. What are we beholding, Carl? Aside from death and destruction. Oh lord, it's coming. Are you kidding me? I'm all the way over the other side! Ow! I'm about to... I lived. I didn't like it, but I lived. I do have that. Alright.
Something special for you.
Can we stop?
Try this! Hold still.
Oh boy. Goodbye, Killer Bunny. Hello, the rest of you. Welcome. Good amazing. Okay, not really. Can't diet. Not really for me, but it's a thing.
For all the talk of my brother felling this beast, he only imprisoned it, like Vali Armanda.
From what I could tell, they sought to transfer people's souls and memories into bestial vessels at that facility. The Tural Vidral explains the need for a remote location. It was doubtless their prime subject.
It's also still moving, so I don't know if we've taken it out entirely yet.
Though I expect Zoralja did not foresee the opportunities it presented when he imprisoned the creature.
Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, it's supposed to be alive, methinks.
And so, in order to prevent the breakdown of the individual, I instead seek to transfer their soul into the body of the beast.
This would allow one to wield the power of a Tural Vidral.
In theory.
In theory, our initial experiments will involve lesser creatures. But in time, I am confident we will be able to bring even the mightiest under our control.
And what becomes of those who offer their souls?
As they won't be able to return to their original forms, we must consider them lost. But the sacrifice will be worthwhile, for the army you stand to gain will far surpass any composed of mechanical soldiers.
Very well. Recruit volunteers and begin at once.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I shall return to the observatory and see to the necessary preparations.
So, you've given him permission?
Teshalja, you will assist Kaniloka.
Oh no, she was the assist.
As one of the Landsguard's finest chirurgeons, your knowledge may be of use in his experiments. You will also watch him closely. In what you learn, you will report to me. You object to his project? Or are you incapable of performing this duty?
No, Your Majesty. Whether we shelter within the dome or expand beyond it, we require great power. But with no one to rely upon, we must take that power for ourselves, even if the means are questionable. I will do as you command. But if Kaniloka's work bears fruit, I wish to beg a boon.
What do you desire?
Something that I had accepted I would never have in Tuliolal.
Excuse me,
that I
Bubby.
believed would forever be beyond me. That it was foolish to covet. But here and now, it is close. So very, very close.
Perform your duty to my satisfaction, and anything you desire is yours. That which I seek does not lie within this dome. Here, I cannot prove the miracle. But if what you seek is at hand, then you may claim it, for it has no value to me.
That was the most business transaction way to say, hey, you do your job well, and yeah, you can have a child. Oh, there it goes.
Are you alright?
Sure. Hey, about your mom, Gulul.
Teishelja. Could she be my mother?
I'd say it's a pretty good chance.
Like the people in the outskirts said, few Mamulja lived in the Asulani. I can't imagine many other Ubigo women were trapped in the dome. That being the case, she could well be the one.
This observatory Kanaloka returned to, could it not be part of the research facility? We might learn something about Teishelja there.
That's where we're going next then.
Back up we go. Oh, thank God, you've put me back in here. Now that the danger is behind us, it started sinking in just how unsettling this place is. To believe it used to be a village. Alice, the blood and gore meant nothing to you. But you should be able to peer into the Troll Vidrol's past. I wonder what that implies for the beast's consciousness while it was sealed away. Seems this Kaniloka was in charge here. From your recounting, he was quite dedicated to Zorolja. Villagers were likely monitoring the imprisoned Troll Vidrol at Zorolja's behest, and at some point they became involved in the research of souls. Teishelja, you said her name was? I wonder what her story is. Wish I could see into the past like you. Then I could see people who are gone. Because there aren't any other Mamujal women here. For a long time I couldn't even imagine what my mother looked like. But when I visited Tuliolal and Solsam, I was able to finally picture her in my mind. And one day, I hope I can see what she actually looked like as well. Sure. Well, we've discerned the purpose of the research conducted here. The traces of it that remain might afford us greater insight into what came of it. Let's take a look around for information as well as a way to the upper level. How do you feel, Goluja? What happened to the people here? Did they all leave, or did we already meet them? The latter. With this much blood on the floor, the latter. Not to know. To think that people actually volunteered their souls for the experiments. Success was far from guaranteed, and even in the best case, they would cease to be men. Is their devotion to Zorolja so absolute? Raha is creepily in a corner. Hello, thoughts? I wonder what Beklog will make of this research into transferring source. Oh, Beklog would never let us hear the end of it. It goes against the natural order and all that. Alize. Won't open, and I don't think it'll yield to our shoulders either. We'll have to do it the old-fashioned way and find the key. The key card. Okay, I haven't found Wukklamat yet, so I'm assuming she's back here. Oh, and Carl. Yeah, they're both over here. Researchers likely moved between the upper and lower levels. Perhaps we can find a key among their belongings? It makes me angry to think about what they did here. Test subject show. Recruiting volunteers for a new experiment. I know I'm not as bright as the others, but they wouldn't laugh at me if I was stronger than them. This might be my chance. Soul transferred a few days ago. I can write. Can write good. Yes, I am good. Very good. Is this going to be the equivalent of itchy tasty? Getting hard to control strength. Today, bit offhand of feeder. Cannot help it. So strong. Hungry. Always hungry. Can't control. Eat. I must eat. Am eater must eat. It is the equivalent of itchy tasty. Yeah, we found Resident Evil. Welcome back, Resident Evil. Supplies for the staff neatly arranged within the cabinet. Among the various items is a manual outlining regulations to tranquilizing gas to be used in emergencies. You dig deeper and find a verification key. Perhaps can be used to open their own gate. I'll call the others. Who wants to go first? It seems the key can be used to operate the lift as well. Up we go. And then something jumped down from the ceiling. This expansion was supposed to be my summer getaway, my filler arc. Here I am. Unleashing the horrors of science and human experimentation. Or sentient being experimentation, I suppose. So, this is the observatory. I didn't expect it to be similar, but this is a far cry from the temple that held Filgamanda. All the machinery appears to still be in operation. I expect there are auxiliary systems in place to ensure that monitoring can continue even in emergencies. The warnings indicate various anomalies related to the seal's failure, most likely. For a blessing, we managed to fell the beast before it could cause harm. Alright then, let's see if we can find some clues about Grusha's mother. I think I can use this terminal. Shell told me how. That's it. You do as all NPCs do and just tap the same thing. Don't worry, it'll work. There's so much data. I don't know what we should look at. And perhaps we can narrow down the search by inputting the name Tishoja. It brought up a lot of results. They all seem to say the same thing. Tishoja, Administrator of Experimental Treatments Research Logs. That sounds good, doesn't it? The chances are the data is encrypted, and even if not, it will take considerable time to go through it all. Then let us take it with us to the back room and have Shell analyze it. Agreed. Alright, I'll transfer it to the storage device I brought. Oh, Tiny Bird brought a hard drive with him. There, it's finished. Thank you so much for bringing me all the way here, everyone. If you're happy, then so am I. Besides, I was able to learn more about my brother as well. It was a adventure for the both of us. Thank you for bringing me to a facility where human atrocities and crimes against nature itself were committed. I had so much fun. And here we are. The authorities will doubtless wish to be informed about the facility and its contents. But first things first, let us deliver the data to Shell. Maybe we're going to get a surprise twist and it's going to be like, she's still alive, but she's got the data elsewhere, and then she's going to... Okay. Assuming before this patch ends we don't find that she's concrete dead. Would the theory be possible? I'm going to propose the theory. That assuming we don't find that this Mademoiselle lady is already dead and buried to some degree. She's out there somehow, some way. Will somehow, some way get a hold of Sven's regulator, which we know is still technically around, and use it to insert souls to something. Sven's soul into herself? Perhaps? Fuse both souls into something else? I don't know. We've got a missing woman who's worked on research involving souls into things. We've got Queen Sven's regulator on the who knows where. But they made a point of showing us. Oh, hi Jude. Found information on Galusha's mother. You lot never cease to amaze. From what I can see, things haven't changed much since the funeral. People are still listless like before. I've been thinking, it may behoove us to learn how to use various devices found throughout Alexandria. Late than never, after all. This will be in good hands with Shell. Having now spent some time in these harsh environments, I feel I have a better understanding of how much of a steadying presence Sven was to her people. Galusha had no trouble keeping up during the outing. He really is his father's son. Shelley gave me the storage device before we left. She said that we probably need it, and we did. Welcome back. Galusha has already given me the storage device. It was a wealth of data, all of which is encrypted, so I'll need time to process everything. In that case, Alice and I might take ourselves around the city to check on the people. Their mood has us a bit worried. I don't know if there's anything we can do to help, but we'll see. Understood. I'll let you know as soon as I've finished my work. Thank you. We'll see you again soon. Guidance of the so. Alexei isn't wrong. The mood out there is still grim. Some of the Trolley remember a time before they were dependent on the soul system, and even they're unsettled and wondering aloud if they'll have the chance to reunite with old friends and family before they pass on. With good reason too. The journey home won't be an easy one for those who've grown old. No? This is about my delivery. That's why it's mostly been younger folk who've been leaving for Troll. Ones with no elders to care for. Word of that problem has reached us in Tuliolal. My brother is doing all he can to see the Zakatral Railroad restored to operation, so the people may come and go more freely. Unfortunately, the tracks only go so far as Vanguard, so traveling by foot will still be necessary. Even so, the railroad would make things a slight easier. How long before it's back in service? I couldn't say. When I left for this visit, Klarna seemed reluctant to make promises. But while Shale's working on that data, we could go and see the state of it for ourselves. Into Shaolani Station then. I'll make sure to keep Klarna informed. For Shaolani Station. Let's bring this first. That's right, you're inside this building. Hi. How's the railroad doing? Well, resolve, Nixie Batata Boot. What can I do for you? We're hoping for some good news about the railroad. There's an increasing number of people looking to return to Tyrell that can't make the journey on foot. I see. As it happens, the Vow of Reason is also on his way here to take stock of the situation. What timing? Ah, scratch that. On his way. Hey, brought Erinville. As the good ship has officially approved my transition from gleaner to independent contractor, I was in need of a more befitting attire. You hear about the railroad too? It was in part for my sake that the original Dawn Blazer was sacrificed, so I felt it was only right that I assist with his replacement. Speaking of which, I assume Lamichi has explained the growing urgency of the need. What have you to report? New locomotive was on track for completion, but we're having difficulty pulling her into the station, in a manner of speaking. You see, when we used the Dawn Blazer to get into the dome, urgency outweighed all of the considerations. But now we're back to our original problem, how to run the railroad without upsetting the inhabitants of Mehwa Hitson. That's the little clan, isn't it? Nope, I was way wrong. That is, the Ronik, though the Hetzro that follow them are none too pleased about the Hetzo being spooked by the noise of the locomotive either. The solution I've devised to quieten the railroad should address that complaint. But a silent train presents a different danger. The Ronik will need to be deterred from wandering across the track. And I suppose we can't just blow the whistle at them, or they'll panic and be put off their grazing again. Weren't the railroads plotted to avoid the Ronik's preferred grazing areas, though? It's odd they're getting so close in the first place. The Ronik's grazing patterns have shifted since the tracks were laid. I'm not certain why, but I intend to ask the people of Mehawatsuan for their insight. As a major proponent of the railroad, I have duty to assist in this matter. And I too would hear what the Hetzro have to say about it. They are the ones most affected, after all. I believe it would be best to begin by consulting their leader, Warto. The rest of you can accompany us to the Hetzro encampment if you like. Which is over there. Kwana. As committed as the Hetzro are to tradition, they are amenable to the unfamiliar, so I'm told. To think all of this can be packed up at a moment's notice to follow wherever the Ronik lead. A prior visit to the Hetzro was also on railroad business. Pray they do not take us for train enthusiasts. Sorry, I didn't mean to speak to your Tricenville. Of resolve, reason. I bid you welcome to our camp, but what brings you all the way to Mehwatsron? I thank you for seeing us. Our visit concerns the matter of the Zextral Railroad. You two have noted the Runik's unexpected change in behavior then. My son, Shepto, has been looking into the matter. Shepto? Normally we'd expect the Ronik to keep to the favorite grounds nearby for a while yet, and despite a thorough search we haven't found anything wrong with the quality or quantity of the grazing in the Pyari Yoanan and Yartatane Tane? They refused to keep to where they usually would, instead pushing westward towards your railroad. I certainly see no cause for this unseasonal migration. Nevertheless, should they continue to move west, we will follow. As any true Hetero would, I suppose. As you may have surmised, I am of Hetero descent. My parents travelled with the Ronique as well, though I myself have no memory of the experience. Left behind as a babe, you see, during such a migration, one of many sacrifices necessitated by a nomadic lifestyle, I'm forced to assume. Why are we surprised? Why are we shocked? John's encounter with the kind Pelu merchant was the only reason I survived. Taking pity on me, he taught me his trade that I might fend for myself. I became a storekeeper in Tuliola's markets, and that is where the Dawn servant found and adopted me. I had already been in the palace sometime when Lamichi came to join us. Like me, she had been cast aside by her parents. I knew the pain of solitude and wanted to spare her that suffering. As this tiny child's new brother, I swore I would always be there for her. Okay, but we found Lamichi's actual father. Truly, I've never heard of the Ronique choosing a path so arduous as to force such terrible decision, nor of any Hetzra willingly leaving their own flesh and blood behind. It must have been some exceptional circumstance. I cannot say. The idea of following their footsteps, that I might better make excuses for their actions, never much appealed to me. As is so often the case, you are correct. Though my discomfort with the Hetero way may arise from a fear of reopening old wounds rather than the blind fervor of innovation, it would nevertheless see me repeat past mistakes. And to refuse to learn one of our country's treasured traditions would make me a pawn Dawn servant indeed. Please, teach me of the Ronique and what they mean to you. I promise to listen with an open mind. We would be delighted. In the meantime, your companions are welcome to look around. We learn of Hetero culture with me. I should like to approach this with the fervent curiosity that you and my sister share. But it would be useful to know whether I am doing it correctly. Then it's settled. You'll learn more of the Ronique, and we'll take a look around the plains. And perhaps in the process we'll find the answers we seek. Alright. And the quickest way to learn about our way of life is to do as we do. I hope you're not above manual labor. I am not the most experienced, I'm ashamed to admit, but I shall put forth every effort. So all we ask, take these tools. Here. Thank you. Now introduce yourself to anyone who looks busy and ask if you can help. They'll be happy to teach you what to do in exchange for another pair of hands to do it. Then let us meet back here to share what we've learned. Oh my god, they're... Alright. Let's start over here. You're doing something with the Ronique. I'm afraid I've finished my task for the time being, but since you're so eager to learn about our way of life, why don't I tell you a bit about our migration customs? If you're here, you likely already know that the Ronique are our Hetso, our guides, that we travel with through the turning of the seasons. We trust them to lead us to fertile lands with all we need to survive. But you may not know that sometimes the herd splits in two, bound for different paths. On those occasions, we Hetero must also part with half of our number. You may think it a strange and stressful custom, but over the years it has seen us visit new lands and broaden our horizons as a people. This too is the wisdom of the Hetso. We were clearly trying to fix the tent. This won't do. The wind will go straight through it. And me without my needle and sinew. Oh, these are precisely what I needed. I should be able to patch up the covering now. Given how often we pack up and reassemble our tents, they're bound to get the occasional tear. Fortunately, the runic hide they're made of is durable enough that we generally needn't worry. Playing with a baby? Hitsu? You're learning of the Hitsuru way of life, are you? I may have a thing or two to share, but rather than talking your ear off, let me test your powers of deduction. I find answers much easier to recall later if I arrived at them myself. Our Hitsu provide us with something that we use in medicines. Poultices and soap to drive away pests, and to sustain our fires. What is it? I mean, hooves are generally good. Hey, you can go through this. Both horns and hooves have cores of bone, and we use all of these materials, albeit primarily in tent poles, instruments, and the like. It's not quite the answer I was looking for. It's not gonna be dung. Is it going to be dung? Oh my god, it is. That's gross. In your soap. Meat organs could both be made into delicious fare, and our neighbours are oft glad to trade them for it. They do have certain medicinal uses as well, but they aren't fit for all purposes mentioned in my question. Why is it poop? It sounds like there's a story there. That's indeed the correct answer. We've discovered a myriad uses for runic chips over time, each a boon to our way of life. Where there is a need, our Hetso always provide. That is vile. I'm sure it makes sense, and I'm sure that's actually, I'm 100% sure that was a thing. And possibly still is a thing in some cultures. Not for me. Entangled. This one's fur is a bit overgrown, but a good brushing should thin it out. Would you like to give it a try? You'll need the right tool for the job, mind you. A comb of the type you're used to would get lost in the tangle, like it's not. Ah, Shepto's and a runic brush with you, did he? I like him. Now, just run it through one little patch at a time. Gently. Dutifully brush the runic into your arms, grow weary from the prolonged battle with its coat. It seems much tidier now, though the same cannot be said for your clothes, which have acquired a new coat of their own. Well done. With less excess fur, our friend here will be more comfortable in the afternoon heat and less susceptible to illness. Combed coat also makes it easier for us to identify injuries, should the need arise. Hello, I have learned the way of runic. Or buffalo. The smell of the grass and the wind, which is a good thing, I promise. You could nearly be mistaken for one of us, or at least an adventurous Shitona. I have to wonder how Valquana is getting on. I assumed he would be reluctant to get his hands dirty, but it seems his wish to understand us was sincere. Ah, there he is now. Oh, he made a friend. Apologies for my tardiness. I was tasked with grazing the runic and ended up rather far afield. Found myself wandering hither and thither at my companion's inclination. To force us back to the trail seemed inappropriate. But how was your own work? Have anything to share? I think both of those apply. Yes, I feel the truth of this myself. While I was hesitant to leave my fate to the whims of the Hitso rather than tread man-made paths, I arrived where I was meant to be all the same. Mine is not the only way, though at times I lack the experience to know otherwise. My inability to conceive of how a decision might be right does not mean that it is wrong. My parents had a duty to the Runique as they did to me, and so I wonder if their leaving me behind was not so selfish an act as I once believed. I have no way to know, of course, and regardless, there is no bearing on our present concerns. We are here in service to the people of Tyrol, after all. Nevertheless, I thank you for helping me find deeper meaning in what we've done today. And I will endeavor to remain curious, especially with the Hitso are concerned. Glad to hear that, Valquana. You're welcome here, welcome among our herd anytime. I'm glad that we've bonded. However, does this help our current predicament with the train? You can't take him with us. Ghana, how did it go? I believe I fully understand the significance of the Hitso. They nourish the Hitsoro as they grow and provide warmth and companionship in a harsh and unpredictable world. They are the equal of any man or beast to be tamed. Moreover, Runique are sensitive, though we may treat their injuries or brush their coats to keep them hale. They must ever be free to follow their instincts and seek lands where they might thrive. The Hetsuro will never cage them, and neither should we. To control their migratory patterns or capture those who wander too close to the tracks is out of the question. Then it is particularly important to advance our original line of inquiry. Fortunately, we were able to visit the Runique's once favored grazing grounds. I cannot roll my R's again, or R'n avail. As we were told, the grass looks fine, but the place is too quiet. It's not just the Runique, even the birds and the field mice have fled. We did encounter one pack of Ceratops, but they look to be passing through in a hurry. Typically, that sort of behavior in the fauna would be associated with natural disasters. Earthquakes, landslides, and the like. Though the Hitsuro would have surely put two and two together with the course geological. I measured the area's aether to be sure there was nothing to suggest recent environmental disruption. But I did notice one anomaly. A strong etheric signature to the east, moving across the plain, albeit slowly. I wouldn't say an animal, but a creature. And a powerful one like as not. Predator, given the local fauna's behavior. One of the raptors we saw looked like it had a bite taken out of his tail by something with very large fangs. It couldn't be. True Hitsu? Tsuruhetsu? Runique Riva, in the common tongue. Our people have several names for such creatures. Fangs that steal Hitsu in the night. It's another evocative one. Ah, Chupacabra. Runique can fend off many predators with their horns, but not the Sritsetsu. Their scales are tough as adamant, and neither horn nor arrow can pierce them. A well-toothed carnivore with an unusually tough hide. Cannot recall any such fauna in this region. They usually roam the wilds in the northeast, and most herds keep well clear of them. I can't tell you why this one is so far from home and its pack both. In any case, I believe the source of the Runique's consternation is clear. As is our next move. We must drive this Reaver away, and they might return to their grazing lands in peace. Oh, let's mute that. I don't like their eyes. Right, temporary distraction, let's go. Never fear, we will make certain that the beast threatens you no more. Is this just gonna be a quest fight? Because I don't think we do a trial. Oh yeah, it's just gonna be an instance, alright. The Runique Reaver is a clear threat to the local population. We cannot allow it to roam unchecked. But it won't do for us to go running off in search of it without having made proper preparations. And if others returning from across the plain have spotted it, they may be able to inform us of its recent behavior and where it might be found. Oh, it's gonna be one of these instances. Okay. That's fine, we can roll with this. Okay. Nope.
Help! Help!
You found it then.
Hetsu is coming this way!
Oh, Turuhetsu.
It has beasts across the plains in a panic, and our Ronek are practically paralyzed with fear. We must get them to safety!
We can assist by helping to calm the creatures. Once they're less agitated, it should be possible to hurt them.
And after they're out of harm's way, we'll deal with the Runique Reaver.
I suggest you remain here to attend to the Ronek when they arrive.
They'll be safe with me. Please, be careful out there.
Look at those flat beans in that bag. Sorry, very distracted by flat beans. Right, we gotta go calm some Ronek, which I've been calling Runique.
Make haste! We must protect the Ronek!
What's Erenville gonna do?
Don't worry, we're right behind you.
I would love to go. Freedom! Oh god, I can't get rid of my map, It would be fortunate if they ran this way. I think you're hoping for a little too much there. Oh, there they are.
There they are!
They're terrified. We must do what we can to soothe them.
I'm going to be honest, what sort of prey animal's instinct is lie down and shiver instead of madly running?
That herd should be alright. Let's look for stragglers.
Like, that's a pretty terrible prey instinct.
Rally to. None shall be left behind.
Okay. These ones are charging.
There must be something up ahead. Come!
It's birds!
These are no match for the likes of us.
Oh. Arabelle is tip. Arabelle.
In a panic was clearly an understatement. More are coming!
You're mine!
All or nothing then. It seems that did the trick.
For the fodder, at least. But where's...
Oh lord, it's coming. Oh, there it is.
Look there! We've got a big one coming!
I'm gonna say that it's it.
Impenetrable scales and wicked fangs. That's a Ronak Reaver, and no mistake.
Time to put it down. It's huge. Oh no! The one! It's a baby!
There! That one there!
Quana about to throw his life away for a buffalo.
Not so fast!
What's that gonna do?
Even should it cost me my life. I will save the head soul!
Kona! Are you alright?
Do not concern yourself with me. Get the Ronek to safety!
There. You've nothing to fear.
You've nothing to fear. Anna will recklessly throw himself in your way.
Right! Let's finish the job!
I admire him for his dedication. Get you a man who will do that for your pets. But at the same time, what did he think you... I mean, the thing stopped, thankfully, but it could have easily just gone through him. But he apparently didn't want the Renek that...
I made a vow to our people. You shall plague them no longer!
I mean, Buddy's probably displaced because of Alexandria popping down in its area. It's a circle of life. Alright. Let's get a fresh set of logo. Right. Let's go.
You'll find the vow of reason is not without resolve.
Oh. What a good line.
Damn it! Not even a scratch!
Yeah, it isn't.
I need some time to think, will you?
Does it have a soft underbelly?
It must have a weakness. And I will find it.
Can we do like we do in Monster Hunter and chip something off and then attack it then? Oh, he's analyzing. Boop, boop, boop. Ooh. God, for the love of...
Keep it busy. I need time.
Okay, that's on your sister, not on me.
Right. Go for the legs.
Excuse me? Wildlife in this universe is wild. I'm gonna knock you over like we do with Breathless. You fall over, there's a chime, goes ding!
Now we just have to keep it pinned. You're thinking, Kona.
Look at that underbelly.
A protective current of ether. But whence does it flow?
Crystals on its back, its mouth.
I've got it!
Okay. Where is it? Bring out the cannon.
One well-placed piercing round to the chest, and... You're done for!
I know it's the general limit break, but wow.
That's them the floor, protective
Did that
ether.
feel like PvP? And sniped from across the map.
There's nothing stopping us now.
Oh, buddy's
Still
up and
not
pissed.
backing down, huh? Fine with me.
It's got enough aether in it to do this attack though. Oh. Oh, interesting. Okay. So we want to be over this side. It's gonna be fun. Oh, hello everybody. No primordial roar again, please, no. It's gonna try and collect this aether again. We should take
We
these.
must disperse that ether ere the Reaver
Yep.
recovers it!
This is going to hurt.
No, it's not. What are you talking about? See, we're fine. Might have this go around. Oh god, someone get it. There we go. See, we're fine. We're fine. Problem solved. Big beastie beaten. All the bees.
We did it. Xietso, are they?
The Ronek have all made it to Mehua Hetsuan. Hunters are scouring the area for any remaining threats, but the local fauna appear to have calmed down.
Hooray!
We cannot thank you enough for your timely aid. You, most of all, Bow of Reason.
And now you've got more stuff to sell. What are your crystals all
We
on
feared
spec?
you would be loath to take direct action, yet you didn't hesitate to put your life on the line for our Hetzo.
I did no more than is a Dawn servant's duty.
Buddy, you got bodied for a tiny baby.
The ethereal conductivity of those scales is astounding. I dare say we could repurpose them to create a device that emits controlled pulses of ether.
Could you attach them to the train so then the wildlife is less inclined to go near the train?
Ether resembling that of the predator the Ronek fear most. It might work. If we struck the right balance, we would have the means to deter the Ronek from approaching the railroad without causing them undue distress.
Incredible! Kona, you've done it again.
I must say, I was hoping I'd never have to see one of these again. Still haven't forgotten the last one. And it's been more than 20 years now. I had come as a trader to the camp in Lozenihetta. A camp that was obliterated in an instant by that monster.
Hold on.
Lozenihetta. That's where the Pelu trader found me as a babe.
Oh my god, it's all coming together. Your parents didn't abandon you. They were... This is now the second family that's been wiped off the face of the planet in this expansion. The other one was a gathering one. And that one was taken out by an entire ass meteorite.
Please, can you tell me what you saw?
As I said, I had traveled there to trade with our fellow Hetzaro. Like us, they followed the Ronek. And like us, they were visited by a Reaver. The fiend struck like a whirlwind in the night. It was chaos. I grabbed some token belongings and bolted in a panic, thinking only of getting as far away as possible. But even in my panicked state, I could not help but notice the young couple racing the other way, toward the fell creature.
Oh no, that's gonna have been your parents, Connor.
Well distracted, I heard one cry. Save our son! Save the Hetzo!
I like the idea that Connor told this tale about how he was essentially, he felt abandoned and that's why he didn't want to learn about this way of life. And you didn't attempt to put two and two together and go, you know, there was an incident with another group and they seemingly lost a son there. Weird.
After that, nothing but the pounding of my heart and feet and Ronek thunder. I ran and ran. And as the sun broke the horizon, I found myself separated from both man and beast. Windborne words say that a group of survivors reunited with their remaining Ronek and have long since moved on. But still more were never seen again, including the brave couple. Or so the story goes.
And what became of their child?
No one knows?
I'm afraid I don't know. But if he wasn't with the survivors, even if he lived through that night, the wilderness wouldn't have been kind to a little one out on his lonesome.
Wow, we're not putting two and together. I'll do it for you, Connor. That's you.
Maybe not. But perhaps a passing Pelu would. And one day, even a Dawn servant himself. All these years, I was convinced that my parents had left me behind to follow after the Ronek. But now I see they didn't abandon me. They were trying to keep me safe. I've wasted so much time resenting them, when in truth, they gave me everything I have today. It is thanks to them that I live to know the warmth of family, even after they were gone. And now that I am done, servant, all of Tuliyola is my family.
Oh, you can't make me cry at a 0.1 patch. I'm not gonna live to see 8.0.
A family I will always protect, as my parents protected me.
I'm glad that his story about his dead parents is going a little better than Guluja's. Guluja seems to be going for the more horrific mutation side of things. Oh boy, this patch is all about the dead parents, apparently. To know that the Hetzor are safe is more than enough. Yet, would it be wrong to hope that in protecting them, we also avenge my parents? It is the least I owe to them after all this time. I thank you for standing by me, as Dawn's servant, and as the oft imperfect man beneath that mantle. Now, let us return our attentions to the matter we came here to address, shall we? We've removed the root cause of the Ronek straying from their favored grazing, and obtained the tools to devise an additional precautionary measure. A silent whistle, as it were. This whistle must be capable of emitting pulses of aether strong enough that they will shy away from the tracks on instinct, yet not so strong to drive them into a panic. If we can achieve this, it'll be a far sight better than a traditional whistle. More effective and less stressful for the creatures themselves. Huh? Then let us return to Shaloni Station and begin work then. While Likara and his crew would doubtless be relieved to finally have a solution. Back to the springs. Patch name Crossroads, and it's all about finding out crossroads of families. Thoughts on the matter, Book? This train will be ready in no time. A variety of artisans from across Toral have come to assist with the railroad, so I foresee no difficulty in creating the whistle the coroner has proposed. I always carry a spare pair of spectacles or two, as it can be difficult to find replacements outside of the city. You wouldn't believe how many I went through during the Rite of Succession. You look pleased about something. Good news for the railroad, I take it? So, the Ronique were avoiding a predator. Smart ones they are. Falcoana's not too bad himself. What with his whistle idea. Sit tight. We'll have this train on the tracks before you know it. I will proceed to sit tight. I have sat tight all through the night.
We're ready to go.
Whoa! She looks as good as new!
If I had time to do a proper job, could have really made her shine. Had to cobble together the exterior with spare parts. We refurbished the interior, though. Not that you can appreciate it from out here. But as far as the Ronek are concerned, we've spared no effort. From the ballast to the ties, we've adjusted every bit of the track so she'll run quiet as a field mouse.
You and your crew have worked wonders. Our nation is in your debt.
Come now. If anything, credit's due to Tuliolal. It's thanks to the folk you recruited from every corner of the continent that we were able to get her up and running so quickly. Besides, the ethereal whistle's the true marvel, and we wouldn't have that without the scales you brought us. However grateful you are, know that we're even more thankful.
Right. If we're done talking, let's put this train through our paces.
No, it still has a normal whistle then. Also, surely if the Ronek are that sensitive that... You know what? We're not gonna go for it.
There's a Ronek up ahead.
Now, to test our whistle.
On it. Just point it in the general direction and...
It's moving away.
Why does it need to be pointed? Why is it not omnidirectional?
Meanwhile, our friends over there appear wholly unperturbed.
Wonderful. Why are they this far out and where are the snakes?
With this, we can alert those who wander too close without disturbing the rest of the herd.
A roaring success! In a quiet way, like. Then with your permission, Vow of Reason, the Shaktaral Railroad is back in service.
I'm sure this isn't gonna happen, but I would love it if, like, they've done it before when maps change based on your story progress. If they did it for this and you could see the train going back and forth occasionally. And for a while there, we were real worried that we'd never get the railroad running again. Now the test drive was such a success, we can breathe easy and start hauling people to and from the dome. First Shalani and then the continent. Watch out, Zaktral. Here we come. I mean, whatever, Tural. Yes, and remember we got a mountain of work ahead of us to ensure smooth operations. Time to get back to it. The efforts of all here today have not gone unnoticed. Once more, I thank you. As for our own work, I trust you can handle matters in Alexandria, Limichi. Limichi. Bye, Koana. Final quest has got the patch name. Well, it's possible that Shale's made some headway by now. Regardless, we should spread word that the railroad's been restored to service. Shale, what do you have her working on? Volusia's mother? I'd feel the same in his shoes. Have felt the same. Some questions are painful to leave unanswered. There is no cause to look at me like that. The Kahua we met may have only been a simulacrum, but her memory was real. Oh, he's got a little charm. I didn't search for what she left behind because she left it with me. I carry it always. Aww. I don't feel. Don't call attention to it. Speaking of things you're carrying, is that a teeny tiny kahwa? What? No. It's merely a token from Alexandria. Our friends in Oblivion would not take no for an answer, and I thought it as good a souvenir as any. Whatever you say, for what it's worth, I think it's a nice way to bring her with you on your travels. I'm gonna cry over your mother again. Yes, well, you're off to the dome now, aren't you? I thought I might join you for a time to see if there is aught I can do for the people there. Much changed though it is, I still consider it my home. Of course, we can give you the full story on the way. Oh my god, why is this the patch of apparently dead mothers? Galujas. Dimitri's also mother's dead, as far as I'm aware. Her dad's alive. Arabelle. Karma's parents in general. I'm gonna get into a cutscene and delivery I'm waiting on that is 2 stops away, so immediately getting tied up. That's us. I'm heading to the back room. Let's go. Oh, Raha wants to speak. Hello. You must be exhausted. Shall I nip out for an energy tonic? Please don't. So, Zoro Shah was conducting secret research in Hyoeirawata. I have some memories of the place from my childhood. I'm glad you're back. We wouldn't want to keep Gulu Shah here waiting any longer than necessary. Annabelle is wearing his kahwa. That makes me happy. I can't remember how we said her name. It's been too many months. So we arrived at a good time. A simple yet elegant solution, and thus is the railroad back in operation. Meanwhile, Shell has nearly finished processing the data. She will be able to share her findings with us imminently. Not immediately, imminently. Hello. I'm interrupting something, I gather. Why, you're Stoller. What brings you here? I've seen enough of the gate in this Skydeep Center for now, so I'm shifting my investigation to living memory. While there, I thought I would do well to have the company of an expert on Electro. I'd like to take a closer look at the place myself. I can join you once we're finished here. Lest you fear I've forgotten, once I've made headway with living memory, the key in your keeping shall be the next subject of my scrutiny. Can you not just take it from me now?
There was a mountain of data to sift through, much of it tantalizing, I admit. But it will take time to fully decrypt everything that piques my interest, so to answer our immediate question, I've been concentrating my efforts on the audio saved by Taishul Jah herself.
Audio.
While I've not listened to it yet, I have a selection ready for playback. Would you like to hear it now?
Boy howdy, I sure hope you chose audio that's safe for kids to listen to and not some horrific screams.
Yes, please.
All right. Several audio files will now play in sequence.
What are you, the cutscenes?
My name is Teishaja, and I decided to record this to help me put my thoughts in order, I suppose.
Mother?
Officially I was a Virgin with the Lance Guard. I was part of a contingent dispatched to Yasulani to hunt a Tural Vidral that was wreaking havoc. After our mission was complete, I elected to remain. It was the perfect opportunity to document the geographic distribution of medicinal herbs in this region. Or so I said when requesting special dispensation. In truth, I could not bear to return to Tuliolal. I had hoped to aid Commander Zoralja in the right of succession, but he did not so much as look my way. I was never in contention, of course, one of the nameless many in his army. To go back and face that reality was too much for me, so I ran. And in my cowardice, I stumbled upon this path. A path that changed my life. When the dome appeared, I found myself trapped within, and reunited with my commander. How am I to speak of Commander Zoralja?
It's reminding me of Livia and Gaius. In the sense of Gaius was obviously the commanding officer and had no particular interest, but Livia was obsessed with him.
I admired him. His incontestable strength, his unwavering focus. He was a man of great passions. I watched him, captivated by his intensity. From afar, I would not dare approach. And in watching, I came to know him. His eyes too sought the distance, but not as mine did. He yearned not for another, but something else, beyond the horizon. That gaze would never fall upon me. I knew. I knew. The experiment will soon proceed to its next phase, and when it does, as he promised,
I will have my heart's desire. Today. It should have been today. The beginning. What I have dreamed of for so long. I hold a future in my arms. If he could see him, embrace him, surely that would be enough. So full of hope I was. A foolish hope.
Its scales are blue.
He's your son.
My... No, I can't. I don't know how. How could I? How? To raise a child, be a father. I don't. I can't. No! No! Get it away from me. Get that thing away from me!
It's all right, little one. Papa was just surprised. That's all. He'll come around. We'll be a happy family. Kaniloka's shouting for me. The research hasn't been going well. But I can't let him take it out on my baby. Hush now, little one. I know just where to hide you.
No, he's gonna take it out on you instead.
That's all of them.
I'm not into... Okay, I get where she thought logically it was going, but that's... To be so obsessed with someone, to try and essentially... She essentially tried to baby trap a guy who she knew had no interest in, like, anything. And is shocked that it didn't go well.
He was abandoned, the poor dear. We found him in the drift downs a few years ago.
We know some manner of accident happened at the facility after this was recorded. Perhaps your mother couldn't come back for you.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say your mother was the accident.
Hey, Gololcha.
I'm fine, Lamachi. Father and mother, they were both so lonely. If we could have been together, maybe they wouldn't have been. But sometimes things don't work out, no matter how hard you try. I can't tell if I'm happier now. But it's better to know, I think. Thank you, everyone.
Alright, thoughts on proceedings, everyone. What a mess. This sums it up pretty well. If the dome had not appeared, Tisha Ja's tale would have been very different. Yet, whether or not she would have been happy, I cannot say. You could argue that she would have, if the dome hadn't come up, they wouldn't have crossed paths again. She probably would have moved on eventually. You may find it hard to believe, but until the rite of succession, Saroja was a good brother to me. Always, and I thought that Papa was the best father anyone could ask for. I don't want to think the time we spent together as a family was a lie, but by the same token, the bitterness my brother harbored was all too real. It's okay. I wanted to know more about my parents, and now I do. And I don't regret it. I have Lamichi and Kana and you. I'm not lonely in it now. Tisha Ja left written records as well. I'll compile them from Galuja. Perhaps something in them will be of comfort. No matter how brave a face Galuja puts on, I expect it will take him time to come to terms with this. He's a strong one though. You needn't worry too much. Why leave such a record, you ask? I cannot be certain, but I believe Tisha Ja simply wanted someone to know how she felt, to understand. It's better to know a profound response for one so young. Though I wish he didn't have to be. Galuja is indeed wise beyond his years. Yet one never outgrows the need for dependable companions. 'Tis fortunate that he has you. Thank you, Shell. Because of you, I got to hear my mother's whole story. Most of it. You heard it because you were brave enough to listen, Galuja. If you remember one thing, remember that. Now then, having shared what can at present, I am ready to head to living memory when you are. I am planning to be thorough, so we will need to stop for supplies on the way. That said, I promise we won't remain over long. I know we will have much more to attend to. And that for now, farewell. Word, before you leave. Our network's already spreading word of the railroad. We expected people would be clamoring to get on the first train back. Yet the reaction's been the polar opposite. Scant few seemed inclined to depart Alexandria anytime soon. What? When people spoke before, you said many from Toliolal were eager to reunite with friends and family. Maybe they're concerned about getting through Vanguard? If so, we could take turns accompanying them. In any case, we need to speak with the people ourselves. Let's start at Lenode 9. Alright. Okay, only the two of us going. Which thing is near? Oh, it's outside, okay. We haven't seen that look on her face yet. Or did we? Or did we and I was too busy being horrified? That's the way. There may still be people gathering in Praxis Park. Let's try there first. Oh, what drama is about to go down in the park?
The people look uneasy. Did something happen?
More like, is something happening? –
you heard? Someone was killed in the Thunder Yards.
The Thunder Yards was one of the hunters slain by a beast.
Probably hit by lightning.
It was a hunter, all right. And a veteran at that. But it was no fiend that did him in. Only a random bolt of lightning.
Such a senseless way to die. They say that he expended his last soul cells during Zoraljar's attack on the city.
For an upright, hard-working man to meet such an unceremonious end, it feels wrong.
But we'll be fine, won't we? Even if the system no longer erases our memory of the departed, the regulators continue to function.
You need souls.
I shan't go before my time. Growing old and passing peacefully with the help of the ushers is only natural.
Well, you may think so, but how are we to know? We have no memory of those who have gone. More may have met violent deaths than passed from old age, and we would be blissfully unaware. It could happen to you, or me, to any of us.
Then what are we to do? Spend every waking moment thinking only of how we might die?
With time, I had hoped that they'd be able to adjust to their new situation. But it's only gotten worse.
I mean, there's not a lot we can do about that, unfortunately, because you can't start the soul cycles anymore, given how unethical it was, and this comes down to a case of they're just going to have to try and adjust. Like, there's no way to start this system they've become so reliant on back again. Even that was a finite resource to begin with.
Look! It's Queen Sphene!
Excuse me? I'll put her down now.
What?
Help, Queen Sphene! The grown-ups are really upset, and I don't know what to do!
I see that you are as kind-hearted as ever, Nico. Never fear. I'm here to set things aright.
No, put her down now. Take her out from afar.
I don't understand. Sphene is gone. Forever.
What did you do?
You there, Gussin. You were the Queen's aide, weren't you? What's the meaning of this?
Begging your pardon, Vow of Resolve. But Her Majesty Queen Sphene is paying visit to her people, as is her wont.
What have you done?
What are you talking about? Sphene is dead. You officiated the funeral yourself. We all placed flowers to mourn her passing.
A funeral? For Her Majesty? What a curious jest. You know full well that ceremony was to commemorate those lives lost during the attack of Alexandria. Her Majesty walks among her people that she might support them in this most trying of times. Surely that is not cause for consternation.
Put them both down. Come here for a second.
Your
I want to remove
Majesty,
the regulator.
Won't you free us from these terrible memories of the departed? This is no way to live. Not for us, nor our children.
I wish that I could. Truly I do. But with living memories shut down, even I cannot restore the system that once afforded us that comfort. You needn't fret, however. I have prepared an alternate solution.
She's going to take them.
All of us shall be made endless. I have created a new system that allows you to transplant your memories directly into an ethereal vessel. One not reliant upon soul cells.
Why is she still... I was saying at the start of the stream that I felt nothing because I didn't like her from the get-go. And now she's come back from the dead. And I don't like her because now she's real... Oh my god.
This way, you need never again fear death. You may live as you please, and for as long as you like.
She's real cheerful for someone who's essentially running a cult and is about to say, don't worry, we'll all go together and we'll be free from the mortal shell.
Our stores of ether are, at present, not sufficient to provide this boon to everyone. But some of you received neo-regulators for the funeral ceremony, did you not? And there are still more we have yet to distribute. 5,000 in all.
They're gonna start a fight over who can get them.
One day soon, those with neo-regulators will be called to join the Endless, and thence be free of suffering forevermore.
But only 5,000 of us?
Guess you're gonna have to fight for it.
You Victral! The real Sphene would never be content to save only some of her people.
I can't wait to get thrown out of another city for inciting violence against the monarchy.
Who are you?
Nope.
I am Sphene, the Queen of Reason.
Let's return to the back room. I need to calm down, and then we'll talk.
Okay, now that my delivery's actually been sorted. Right. We've got evil Sphene, as though she wasn't evil to some degree before. God, I don't... Oh. I mean, I'm assuming she's some sort of experiment. Something to do with the regulator put into the body. We seem to be going for body horror this expansion. Queen Sphene is returned? How? Wouldn't we all like to know? Seriously, what was that? Sphene was erased. If she's back, then are the endless... Okay. Let's not cheapen your mother's goodbye. Not to report yet, but we have all our eyes and ears out and never keep an heritage found. Does that mean living memory's gonna turn back on? Just click, click, bing! Without the Meso terminal, how does she propose to create new endless? We must contact Y'shtola as soon as possible. We've heard about the Queen of Reason's proclamation. Rumors spread through the district like wildfire. I actually want to talk to Alize, but I'm facing the wrong way. There we go. You saw Sphene with your own eyes, then. So it wasn't someone else. I mean, she herself is essentially robot anchored. I guess if someone had a backup of the file into another metal body. Creepy. We only caught the proclamation from a distance, but I can tell you that the message about neo-regulators was received with utmost clarity. It couldn't have been Sphene. She should have been destroyed when the Meso terminal shut down. Without a single Alexandrian to bear witness. Presented with an identical figure claiming to be their beloved queen, it is no surprise that they would choose to believe she's alive. What is troubling, however, is their denial that the funeral was held in her honor. It is as if their memories have been erased. Given that the members of Oblivion remain unaffected, that was likely the work of the regulators. But by whose design? Someone smart enough to play being the Queen of Reason. In that guise, even if some suspect deception, most of Alexandria will be on her side. We need to find out who she really is. While I agree wholeheartedly, we should avoid drawing more attention than we already have. We must be patient until Oblivion's network turns up a lead, or until our self-proclaimed queen makes her next move. Is it going to be... Are we coming back to the theory that it's Galusha's mother? I will be queen. Wild either way. I was about to say, meanwhile in living memory? So?
Where am I?
Well, something sees you stolen.
My people. Are they safe?
Sphene again? I'm so sick of Sphene. And now there's gonna be two.
Why am I...
I can't believe we deleted her and she's come back twice. Fear of death, the people turn to Queen Reborn, their fates to learn. Wonderful. Hi. Pity Y'shtola's not present for Sphene's return. A cursory glance at the imposter's aether would have doubtless been enough to confirm our suspicions beyond a doubt. Shell said she left this machine running to process more of the data from the field station. Is it done yet? Oh, Raha, they've done the terrible thing of leaving you as one of the NPCs chilling about. Hello. Though we have too little information to draw any useful conclusions as yet, I dare say the Queen of Reason's behavior henceforth will be illuminating. Is it just... well, I suppose everyone else. I'm back. Well, I don't even know where do we go from that? What have we accomplished with this knowledge? We started off with a funeral. I turned around and stated at the start, I don't like Sphene enough to care about her funeral. We've ended with essentially me not caring about her funeral being a moot point, because one, it's been essentially wiped from everyone's minds, and two, there are two versions of her now kicking about. We've got full imposter and presumably whatever data was whipping about. Though having said that, with how she reacted, I wouldn't be surprised if the second version, the one in living memory, is actually her? Like some sort of case of coming back from the ethereal sea, and that's actually Queen Sphene from way back in Alexandria's initial old times. Oh, there's Erenville. Having said that, I'm not going to rule out the idea that somehow, someway, Gulusha's mother is involved. Because why not? I'm sorry, Enveril. I'm really hoping your mother doesn't come back, because I like the... You had a good ending. I feel like it would cheapen it to bring her back. I'm sorry, buddy. Only those without regulators have any recollection of mourning Queen Sphene. Makes sense. I guess we'll find out where things go from here, but... I'm going to go on the running theory that I still want to say Gulusha's mother, because she was so obsessed with Zorulusha. And it being a case of using this facsimile of Queen Sphene to launch another attack to get the Aether. I don't know how well that would go, but at the same time, I suppose the idea is if she's only got 5,000 of these regulators, sacrifice the rest of your populace in Solution 9. It could be enough. It's interesting. We've gone very cult-like with how this place runs. It's very... It is very a case of if I said that we end it all tomorrow for the idea of a better future, we're all going together. Yeah, very, very cult-like. Not a... Well, it's a bad thing in general, but not a bad plot point to spin it as. Well, I guess I'll vibe with Erenville and we'll leave it there for now. Like, I don't know where else you would go from that. I only said yesterday, I appreciate how all of these stories are tying in together in the sense of... we've got this main scenario where they obviously have this whole thing of the life here isn't sustainable and souls are running out. Which is also a thing for the Orcadian. The Orcadian also has a case of souls are running limited, so that's why the Orcadian is having trouble. Then the Orcadian brings up the concept of feral souls eroding at a human soul, which once again links back to the dungeon here. 24-man is linked... Well, the 24-man's more linked basis, like, entirely based on the idea of Electrope. Spinning off the idea of using Electrope to create a different city. So yeah, what can I say aside from I feel once again justified in disliking Queen Sphene? I did not perchance have a change of heart during this patch with some deep inner details of her changing my idea on her being weird and very cult-like, and I don't like her. Maybe next time, assuming the second Sphene is actual Sphene and can give us an actual person instead of weird, creepy AI cult leader. We'll see. In like 3 months. So yeah. That's where I'm gonna leave it for now. Yeah. I hope you have a good morning, day, afternoon, evening, night. That's gonna be all from me for today, guys. So yeah. See ya.